Good morning, everyone. Today is Sunday, June 29th, and today is Group D guesstimates. Group D guesstimates that will pay in the month of July. Hopefully the audio works. Please confirm as we are live. Whoever's live here, looks like we have so far 52 of you. Welcome, welcome. And let's get to it. So before we do anything, right, before we talk about anything, how do you know, or how do you get to the distribution schedule, right? If you were curious to see like when certain funds pay, obviously you go to the YieldMax website, and under education, you can see distribution schedules. So if you select that, then obviously you could just kind of scroll down and see there's, a quick shortcut to each one of them. So obviously we're interested in the groups. We're interested in Group D. So if we select that, we scroll down, and we're pretty much, again, you're going to look for July for the most part, because last week was Group C's. Here's Group D right here. So declaration date would be July 2nd. Ex-dividend date would be July 3rd, which would be the Thursday, which also is a half day in the stock market, which obviously the next day is a holiday. So we're not getting paid on Friday next week. We're getting paid on Monday. So we got to wait, man. Unless your broker's even later, then you may have to get paid on the freaking Tuesday, bro. Which, yeah, that sucks. That really sucks, but it is what it is. So anyway, let's get to it. This is a tough one. This is I added a few things to help us out for the guesstimates. So we'll have to we'll all do this together. All right. I got my cup of coffee here. Good morning to all of you that have joined the live stream. I greatly appreciate it. I shared it to a couple new groups. Maybe new people will come. I don't really do that anymore. I trust the YouTube to do that. So yeah, anyway, if you guys want to share, obviously feel free to as well. Good morning. What we got? We got Snuggle Bump. That's like a new name. Good morning, Ripping Silk. Good morning, Norman. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Co-Rizzle 2, Vladi, Alpha Chaser, Peter, Mardi Gras, Jeff. All right, and go down the line. All right, so anyway, this is Group D. This is who they have, right? A bunch of suckers here. One thing, I wanted to check too, if you scroll all the way down, they do have who's in what group. So you can see here, obviously Group D is filled with a bunch of these guys here. And it looks like Group A has the most because they have the feet in 5E. So when a new fund comes aboard, maybe it'll be added to Group B, C, or D. But anyway, the focus is Group D. No new funds, same old, same old. So nothing new to add there. So we're going to start with Appley. If anyone cares about Appley, I mean, Appley's been around. They've been around a block. All right. In fact, you want to know how old they are? Let's go. They launched April 17th, 2023. Launch price I'm showing was $20.20. They have paid a distribution, assuming this is pulling correctly. Let's see, AV39. Yep. They have paid out $9.53. So, and what's their current price? It's over here somewhere, $12. Not bad. They've paid back, 47% of the original investment. It's okay. It's been performing decent. But again, APLY V is not too attractive to make this a high yielder per se. It's a high yielder compared to almost everything else outside of YieldMax, but you get what I'm saying. I didn't know what to use for a name, so I chose this one. Who is that? Do I know you, or did you just choose a random name? Anyway, let's see. So Appley, let me show you what I did. So number one, you know about this. This is the group's value. This adds up how much each fund made for the 4-week cycle. If it's a negative amount, that's a good sign. That means they actually produced an income. If it's a positive amount, that's a loss. So unfortunately, only 2 of them, and Appley's not one of them, only 2 of them have made an income. So that's going to be no good. But something additional I added for this guesstimate, which I'll probably do going forward, is obviously I'm pulling the holdings now so we can just get a grasp, or if someone does a, ask me about a fund while I'm doing a review, I can pull it up easily. But the more important piece is I just wanted to see how much are they holding on the synthetic. Are they holding back some bank bro, or are they holding nothing? And if you look here, basically what I'm doing is I'm adding the synthetic from the put and the call, and that totals to be about a $1.3 million amount. There's about 10 million outstanding shares. That comes to about 13 cents per share. That's not going to do anything, honestly. That's not going to really make my decision, change. So now I have to go to the IV. So what I did is, again, I may change these as I go. So keep that in mind. In fact, I was going to do these live, but I figured, all right, let me just at least type in something. All right, all good. All right, so anyway, I have 28 cents. 28 cents is less than the last payment. Last payment was 31 cents. The yield on that is 28%, which is above the 25% IV, and it's not the lowest payment. So again, tough one to tell, but it's probably within this range. It could be more, but again, I'm just going to go based on the IV, give it a little juice, little 3% bump from there. All right. Up next is Amzy. If you guys want to give me, your guesstimate as we go, feel free to. All right. So Amzy, how you doing? Well, let's see. Their IV is what, 28%. So let me show you. First, we'll look at the group's value. Okay. Group's value right here. So Amzy, no income to show there. Let's see if they're holding back some bank bro. Yeah, they are. So if you look here, check this out. Look at their synthetic. It's a 185, right? 185. You see these two? I can highlight them if it helps. Right? They got a 185 synthetic. Yeah, so here's the market value. The market value is insane. Look at the put. It only cost $196,000 to close the put. And the call, when they sell it right now, it's worth $50.4 million. I mean, what the hell? Amazon's at 223 per Google sheet. And this synthetic is 185. Like, what? I was surprised. Like, how are you not rolling that? I mean, July 18th is coming. So this thing is worth a lot of money. So if you scroll down further here, the synthetic, if you add the two together, is worth 50.2 mil. Outstanding shares about 17.3 mil. So that's a total net income per share of 289. Granted, it's on paper. All right. So does that mean anything? Maybe, maybe not. But I believe it does. And so I'm going to consider this now when I do the guesstimate. So let's go back to the guesstimate and see what we can pay. Because I don't know. What do you think? The last payment was 59 cents. Their IV is 28%. So income wise, there's nothing showing you that they would pay over or more than the norm. But I mean, 51%. I'd like to think again, let's just take a look back. It's always good to look at history. So history, the payments aren't that great. 41 cents, 48 cents. They did have a 79, and then they had a 59. So yeah, I'm gonna have to stick with my 65 cents. That's about a 51% yield. But keep in mind, the synthetic is not cashed out yet. But there's a lot there to be sharing, and it's pretty crazy. So I could be lowballing. So don't be surprised if Amzy pays more than this. I mean, they sure as hell can. But again, it's just a tough one when they didn't actually cash it out. But all right, let's keep moving along here. Up next, your boy Dieso. What's up, Dieso? Yo. All right, group's value. I think we already said they don't have money. They did not make money, but I'll check. Yep, Dieso, nothing there. So we'll scroll here and we'll go here and we'll check out the holdings. All right, so obviously for Dieso, same thing. We're going to look at the synthetic 105, 105, right? And then you look at the market value of the synthetic. Can you say Bank Bro, right? 6.1 mil. I mean, damn. Hello. So they have 6.1 mil in synthetic income. Synthetic income on paper, on the paper. If you share that with the suckers who own this fund, that's 225. Good God. But this expires, their synthetic expires August 15th, which means they could leave it alone. But still, man, Disney's at what, 122 per share. The synthetic's at 105. So this thing is worth a hell of a lot of money. So again, like, are they going to use that even though it's not cashed? Are they going to use that into consideration when they make their distribution? Their last distribution was 55. The one before that, 52, 32, 28. All right. So the 50s is the high range for them. So I'd like to keep them in the high range for them. Giving them a 50, again, this is tough. 50% yield. That's a lot compared to their IV of 18%. But again, I'm considering now the synthetic. Let's see how this works out, right? It could be wrong because sometimes I'm wondering when I lowball it, if it's because there's some synthetic income that is being, held back a little bit, just a little bit. All right. So let's keep going here. XYZY. Now this one, again, I don't think, we'll start with the group's value. No income for you. So we'll go back to the holdings and we'll check you out. How you doing? Well, another one, man. What's going on here? So if you look here, their synthetic right here is a 45, right? 45 strike. It expires on July 18th. So that's coming up less than a month. And they're in a freaking hell of a spot too, man. Their synthetic is worth 22.6 mil. All right. Now, if you look here, 22.6 mil, outstanding shares about 6.7 mil. That's 335 per share. I mean, holy crapola, right? Holy crapola. Imagine if they paid, let's see if they did per share, if they actually paid this, multiply that by what, 13, divide that by the price of XYZY. Well, that's not going to work. I'm talking about the yield percentage. Yeah, 430%. Yeah, so obviously they're not going to pay that. But let's go back to the file. I don't remember what I put. 90 cents. All right. So yeah, this one, their synthetic on paper income is massive. And I gave them, I feel like there's always one that's over 100%. I gave them the over 100%. So is this going to be correct? I don't know. Let's look at the last few payments. XYZY, 87 cents, 41 cents, and then 44.50. So 90 cents is very high for them. 90 cents, it's actually probably too high now that I'm looking at this. This should be in the low, maybe 88, which is barely above the last 113. You know what? Do I want to give them less than the last payment? Maybe. What do you think? 84? Yeah, that's 108%. What do you guys think? Does that work? 108% yield. I mean, that's still pretty damn good for XYZY, but whatever. Whatever, bruh. All right, anyway, let's move on. AIYY. What are they doing? Let's see if they made money in the group's value tab. I'll go, if you guys have questions, please let me know at the end. I at least want to get through the guesstimates, and then we'll go through live Q&A, just random discussions from there. So no group's value income. So if I scroll over here and XYZ, no, what are we doing? AIYY. Their synthetic income is actually negative, as you can see right here. So nothing jumps out at you that says they're going to pay you bank, bro. All right. What did I give them? Let's see. I gave them 25 cents. That is a decrease from the last payment. And it's a 75% yield, which is above the 51%. In fact, are they $4? Oh my God. I didn't even realize that. What a crappity crap. $4.29. Man. What the hell? Whew. 20. Should I give him less than 25 cents? Oof. 25 cents is pretty low though. Let's see. Yeah. 3 payments away. They did do 23. So 25. I'll leave it though. I'll leave it for sympathy. But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know about that fund. I never, AI never, that stock just doesn't do anything for me. All right. Anyway, let's move on to Misty. You're all here for Misty anyway, I'm sure. And let's go to the group's value, which again, I haven't even checked the group's value for Misty, but I don't think there's income anyway. Yeah, so it's yeah, they lost a lot of money. It's mainly because of synthetic. But if you go to the here, the payment detail, you know, how much are they going to pay us? I mean, really, who the hell knows, to be honest. If you look at how much they're making on the weeklies, they made about 41 cents per share. If you look at this is a new addition, by the way, extrinsic income, that's 83 cents per share. And if you look at the IV being 46%, that's 76 cents per share. But again, I am considering synthetics. Now they have many synthetics. So if I just look at the ones that are expiring soon, July, they do have 66-cent holdback. So that's in addition, right, to what they made on the income, on the extrinsic income or the weekly income, right? So again, this is I don't know. I don't like this one. I don't like this this cycle, to be honest. And I'm still confused on what to give them. And I took the coward's way out, and I gave it $1 even, because I don't know. I don't freaking know. Like, it's hard, because once you go under $1, you know, that's it. Then you say, oh, they paid under $1 this time. But it's like, do they want to commit to that? Do they want to have anything under $1? Again, I think looking at the IV 30-day IV average 46%. 46%. I gave them a 60% yield. I mean, they've done well. They've won a lot of their trades, and they got some holdback on the synthetic. And it's Misty, for God's sakes. It's Misty. Can they afford to pay $1? Yes, they could pay $1. And I don't think anyone would be sad or angry or, you know, whatever. Should they pay less? To be honest, probably. You know, think about it, like probably 88 cents or something would make sense. But, you know, you got to think they don't want to go. Their lowest payment to date was $1.33. This is definitely going to be their lowest payment. But is it going to be under $1? That's the question. So I got to give them over $1. I got to do it. And I maybe I'll give them 101. All right. That way it's not $1 even. It's $1.01. $1 and a freaking penny. All right. That's it. $1.01. That is a 61% yield. Are they going to pay $1? I'm going to go with yes. If they don't, whatever. It's not like it's no surprise at this point. You know, we kind of we knew what was coming. You know, it's a low IV environment. They're winning their trades though, so that's the thing. Are they going to pay more than the $1.33, which is their lowest? No way. I don't think so. But they could definitely be, you know, between $1 and that range. Maybe $1.10, maybe $1.11, maybe 88 cents. We don't know. But you guys can feel free to correct me in the chat, in the comments. But yeah. What type of calamine lotion? Yeah. Target, I think. Actually, I don't even know. It's pink. But I don't know. By the way, it's spreading. It's still spreading. I can't deal with this poison ivy. I'm gonna go nuts. Anyway, let's keep going. SMCY is up next. Let me see if they made any cash money. No, not on the group's value. Let's check out their synthetic. Oh wait, they're on the they're in the way beginning. Their synthetic is worth $1.24. All right, that's on paper. So that's cool. That's cool. All right. And I don't know. Again, let's just pull it up. What the heck are they paying? $1.20. How did I give them $1.20? Well, simply looking at their IV of 69%, I gave them a slight boost up to 75%. And if you look at their price, it's actually close to Misty. So comparably, yes, SMCY should pay more realistically because they have a higher IV. They pay a higher premium per whatever they trade, which is unfortunate. But $1.20 would be a 75% yield, and it would also be their lowest payment to date. So yeah, I'll keep it. I'll keep it. All right, up next is the inverse of the Qs, YQQQ. Did they make bank, bro? Well, if you go here, they actually made 25 cents per share. Wow, whoopie freaking do, right? So if we go over here now, they're in the negative. Their synthetics in the negative, so that's no help either. So we'll just go right to the file. Let's just pull it up. What the heck are they getting paid? 28 cents. That is a 25% yield. Implied volatility for the Qs, 17%. 28 cents is not their lowest payment. It's actually increased from the prior payment. So is there anything that tells us that they would pay more than the last payment? Not really. So we should probably cut this to 24 cents, to be honest. Let's see. Yep, I'm doing it. 24 cents, 21% yield. We'll go with that. All right, last but not least, your boy Winter. What's up, Winter? What's up? Yo, what's up? All right, first we'll look at the group's value, see if they made some bank, bro. Freaking mosquito. How the hell did you get in here? Winter is at what, 154? That's decent money. They made $1.54. Hey, Chico, I'll take it, Chico. All right. Anyway, let's see what they got going on their synthetic position. Their synthetic is chilling, but it's in the negative. Yeah, that's no help. So that's not going to make or break anything. Let's see what we gave them. Winter, yeah, I gave them a low one. I gave them a really low payment, $1.88. I don't know. Again, I suck at these inverses. You guys can feel free to correct me. But what do you guys think Winter's paying? Or do you not care? Do you not give a damn? But yeah, let me know. All right, we got 226 of you live. I was shooting for 300. So maybe you guys, you forgot to share and tell your friends, right? Bitcoin over 108K today. That's good. I mean, let's get it to 110, right? Get it to 110 maybe? I don't know. Although we want it to grow slow at the same time, right? Because we want Misty to win its trades and go up on the synthetic. All right, so let's talk about YMAX. All right, so YMAX, these are all the weeklies, right? I separate them to the bottom because they are weekly pairs. YMAX, YMAG, LFGY, GPTY, SDTY, blah, 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 blah. Those are all weeklies, all right? Now, if we look at YMAX, their last payment was 15 cents. So this payment, what do I have? I have 16 cents, which is pulled from Group C's estimated payment based on what they actually paid. So that calculates to be about 17 cents. Is that right? Well, look here now, right? This is using what? Let's see, N50, the hell, N50. N50. Oh, the price of YMAX. Okay, that makes sense. Again, I always forget what the hell this formula is, so I have to double check it. Okay, price of YMAX times A38. A38. That's the that's the percentage of how many funds that they hold. Okay, times BJ28, which is right here. That's the average yield based on the actual payment divided by 13. Okay, so that makes sense. And if you look, guys, I'm holding now the average. I'm including Hoy. Hoy is part of YMAX, and I'm showing that they were part of YMAX before the ex-dividend date for this cycle. So I'm pretty sure Hoy is included. So that being said, 17 cents does make sense. All right. Now YMAG is right below it. Again, this is the month. This is the cycle where they just have MSFO. And I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's just go take a look. When's the last time they paid actual, 6 cents or whatever the hell it is? All right, so we got what? Let me unhighlight it. Yeah, man. See, they have not. The last 3 payments, 15 cents, 16 cents, 17 cents. But even before that, 20 cents. Like that's the third payment. They paid 20 cents on the third payment, and then 10 cents on the third payment prior to that, and then 9 cents. So I have 5 cents. There is no way in hell. So I'm giving that a boost. What do you think? 150%? I don't know. That's only 8 cents. Good God. We're going to have to double it, I guess, because I don't know. There you go. I'm giving them a safe 11 cents because I feel like they're no longer paying that low-ass payment that they used to. They're kind of averaging it in between. Randy says everyone is sleeping in on this Sunday. Well, they shouldn't be, right? They should be wide awake. I mean, I got to get this done, then I got to go for a run. I don't care anymore about poison ivy. I'm going for a run. I have to pretend that it's not even there anymore. It's itchy. I really don't give a crap anymore. I got to get my fat ass running after this. But yeah. All right. Any other comments? How much does Misty pay? What do you mean, how much does Misty pay? Did you miss it? Did you miss it? We don't know what they're paying. We're just a bunch of freaking maniacs trying to guess, what the heck they're paying. Tune in Wednesday morning, then we'll know. All right, let's look at LFGY next. Again, what is LFGY? It's a whole bunch of crypto and techie and all this crazy stuff, right? They're holding all this crazy stuff. And this crazy stuff is pretty volatile. BitDeer, 69% IV. Hey, I'll take it. Clean Spark, Core Scientific, whatever the hell that is. It's 123% IV. Galaxy, Digital, Games. How is GameStop only 54%? That's a weak sauce freaking IV. All right. What else we got here? We got, it's low. Nothing worth mentioning. Sad. It's sad that I can't even mention MSTR because the IV is so low. Riot always has high IV. Tesla has a decent IV, and then Block. So you take all those suckers and you average their IV, and you get about 66%, and you say, sweet, bro. And we love it. We love it. We are diversified, right? If you want to be diversified, you are. And if you take that 66% average IV and you multiply that times what? The price of LFGY, and you divide that sucker by 52 weeks, 52 payments, right? What do you get? What do you get, bruh? You get 81 cents, right? Is that going to be their payment? I don't freaking know. Do you know? I don't. Anyway, so is that what I gave him? Let's see. 50 cents. I gave him 50 cents. Yeah, so that their last payment was actually 48. Is there anything there that tells me that they would pay more than the last one? Not really, to be honest. The overall IV in the market is going down too. So you'd like to think that LFGY is going to be a little less. So if I do a multiplier of 90%, 45 cents. Yeah, I think 45 cents. Well, no, that's a 59% yield. I'm give them 95% multiplier. There you go, 48. That's kind of in line. That's definitely in line with the last payment. All right, up next, your boy GPTY. How you doing? How you doing? All right. So again, this is like LFGY, but it's think of it as like a safer version, right? They got like Apple, right? Let me take a sip of coffee. I didn't even click. When did that hit the light come up? Did I click that? But thank you, brother. Yes. If you enjoy this content, please feel free to hit the like button. We're going for 1,000 likes. All right. Only 1,000. We can do that. What do we got here? So Apple, again, a bunch of safe suckers, except I guess AI, that thing is like whatever. CoreWeave, damn, 102% IV. That did not belong in this sucker. Palantir, hey, I'll take that all day. And then cash is not a ticker. Cash is cash. So if you take the average IV of these suckers here, what do you get? You get about 39%. That is a 36-cent payment. So if we could go back to the YieldMax tab and you uncolor, you get 28 cents. I already did the multiplier. The last payment was 31. This payment I have is 28 cents. Maybe I should give them a 90% multiplier. What do you think? That would give them about 32 cents. It's more than the last payment. So we're probably better off with maybe an 85% multiplier. You get 30 cents. Yeah, there we go. That's a better spot. 30 cents for GPTY. How you doing? All right. I always do these three together because I am the worst at guesstimating these, and I don't even care because, these are what? The zero DTEs. These are great funds and all, but they're just, there's nothing to it, right? Itchy rod, pretty much, man. It's freaking annoying beyond belief. But at this point, I can't anymore. I'm not even going to think about it. I'm just going to freaking move on. All right. Anyway, because now it's on my hand, which I know that's not good, but because who knows, it'll go from there. But anyway, SDTY have 11 cents. QDTY have 13 cents. And then, oh crap. Or yeah, that's RDTY. RDTY 18 cents. In all cases, well, no, not in all cases, actually. It shows an increase on QDTY. RDTY is a decrease, but like I said, I don't really care. You guys be the better guesstimate on those. All right. Up next, your boy Ulti. People keep asking me, can you cover Ulti? Can you cover Ulti? I mean, I assume what they mean is they want me to like break down the individual transactions, which, okay, I'm due for that. I am, but maybe, I don't know. It's just so hard when there's freaking every video. You do a video every day. If you do an additional video, obviously you need to have some spare time to be doing that. And it unfortunately just doesn't fit anymore. Hopefully one day I'll do, I'll get back on the grind of, more than one video per day. All right. So anyway, after that bitching and complaining, what does Ulti have? They have, a bunch of, we'll call it degen plays. They got Robinhood. I like that. They got that IONQ, that thing is high IV. Mara, always decent IV. Oklo, hello, Oklo. Reddit, I love Reddit. Rigetti, New Scale, okay. TNA, Dynamite. They don't have UPRO though. Well, I get UPRO as a lower IV, but if you're going to have the triple leverage indexes, let's have all of them. Even UDAO, get some UDAO up in here, right? Balance this crap out with the market. I think that'll be pretty cool. Hey, whoever's running Ulti, if you're listening, add UDAO and UPRO. All right, on me. All right, what do we got down here? Average IV, here we go, 69%. Hey, gladly, I will gladly accept that, because if that's what they yield forever, now and forever, it's beautiful. And I need to buy more Ulti. In fact, someone was asking me yesterday, do I still own Ulti? Absolutely, I own Ulti, but I used to own it in the Retire Now account, but I moved it now. It's in the Dividend Car account because it's with the weekly degenerates. Now, I don't own enough of it because it's my first buy. After my first buy, it's gone up and up and up. So I'm waiting to average down. you know, and it just, I guess I'm going to have to average up that. I mean, I have no choice because I got to get some more Ulti in my life. But anyway, what are they paying? Let's see. We have 9 cents. Well, the last two payments were 8 cents and then 9 cents. So I'm going back to 8 cents. And I think that's respectable. I mean, you can't go wrong with 8 cents or 9 cents. Let's look at the last 6 payments. 9 cents, 9 cents, 9 cents, 9 cents, 8 cents, 9 cents. So we'll go back to 8. Sound good? Great. How much are they worth? 622. Yeah, it's been I guess around this range for a while, so no surprise there. All right, last but not least, we got the freaking chippity doodah, right? The chip stocks, the ones that we don't even know half the freaking names, but they're chippity doodah. So we'll just trust, you know. Do I own chippity doodah? I think I do because they're weekly. But should we, right? Does Nvidia just run the market, right? Are you better off just owning Nvidia or Chippy? I don't know. Chippity doodah has a average implied volatility of 39%. That would be a 41-cent payment. Is that good? Is that worth your troubles? Let's see what I gave them. Did I give them just a 41? No, I did a multiplier. So their last payment was 37 and then 40 before that. So I gave them 37 again, which is a 35% yield. So can you deal with that? All right. All right. Let's see. All right. So those are all the guesstimates. Now we can go through the questions. Go to the doctor and get a steroid. I mean, I got these pills. I forget what they're called, but there's a big schedule. I'm still taking them. So I'm not done taking them. I got today and tomorrow. But I think if you saw like what I did, the type of weeds I cleaned out, it was 3 hours of going through Jumanji, and I did a good job, but they have defeated me. So I think it was just too much. Next time I'm just gonna probably hire a landscaper and let them deal with that, because I am clearly, a sissy when it comes to poison ivy. My body just has no chance. Night, you guys. Nice to see you all live chat and not the boards over there. All right. God bless. Yeah, I don't know who Snugglebump is. I guess someone new to YouTube. Just buy it. Just buy what? Ulti? Yeah. Leaves of 3. Let them be. For real, bro. Moderation, bro. Yeah. Jeff, I don't know what's wrong with us, man. We just not cool, It's just not cool. All right, so I guess we can we got, we're only 38 minutes in. I'm definitely going to go an hour. Whatever you guys want to do. But what else can we talk about? We can go through house money. Because Group C paid last week, right? Did we go over their house money? I'm not even sure if we did. So Group C again, who's that led by? The freaking cone heads. Nah, the cone. What do you do to your cone? Nah. All right, so look at that, man. 147% payment. Again, keep in mind, Coney launched at $20. I know they're at $9 now, so people look at that like, oh my God, they went down 50%. They paid you $29. They paid you $29 from inception. So if this is a bad fund, then sign me up for more bad funds, right? Of course, it's the timing of when you bought it too. But I mean, it's amazing. This Nefly 80%. I always said Nefly's a freaking powerful current stock. Let me see this. Oh my God. Nefly's at $19. God, this thing is a beast. Wow. I'm sorry. Nefly's the shit. Nefly. I mean, they were one of the individual ones that I owned. Again, I got out of the individual covered call ETFs because I didn't want to have to worry about, individual stocks. So I got more into the index versions of them. The only one I own now is Misty. That's, the individual ones, but that's, I don't know. Nefly, who can compete with Nefly? I mean, granted, obviously Coney can, but outside of Coney, I mean, Hoy's coming up, but Nefli right now, they're the number 2 in this group. Who else we got? AMDY is at 76% house money, PP at 65, Fiat at 52. So nothing crazy there. Now, if we go down to Group D, obviously we know Misty, they're getting to the point where they're going to double their original, launch price. Behind, XYZY, they're at 86%. Amzy's at 72. So nothing too exciting there. But yeah, I mean, as far as the weeklies, let's check them out. No one's really close. Ulti's at 64%, YMAX 59, and YMAG 53. I guess we can go to the top 2 to see Group A. Tesla's still struggling to pay back their original investment. 84%. They'll get there though. OARC right behind them, and then YBit and SNOI right behind them. NVIDIA, of course, in Group B, 129%, massive, good stuff there. And then Phoebe behind them, 78%, and Platey, 76%. So good stuff there. All right, so let me catch up on some comments. What do we got here? What's the overall thoughts on Hoy? I mean, it's freaking. Have you seen Hoy? Let's see. Let's go check them out. I'll get their holdings here. Oh, they got 2 synthetics now. So they got the 49 and the 80. I mean, 49 and 80. Like, ridiculous. All right, let's scroll down to the bottom. 49 and 80 right here. So let's add up their synthetics. We got this plus this plus this plus this. All right, synthetic is worth 17.1 mil. Outstanding shares 1.6 mil. Oh my God, income per share 1026. So what do I think of Hoy? I mean, are you kidding me? No, that's Hood. That's Hood price. What the heck is Hoy price? I don't have. I got to update it like I did with these, right? Put the underlying price. Well, it's on the other tab too. So if we go here, where's Hoy? Hoy current price is, wow, 62.34. They're high. They went up to 71. So, and their IV is 60%, which is pretty good. So, again, I love Robinhood. I think they're an amazing brokerage. I mean, they're the best brokerage for beginners. For options, I don't use them. I use, Thinkorswim preferably, but they have just like changed the game, and they continue to change the game. Like, they just continue to offer things that the other brokerages just they don't compete with. I don't know why, but because they're, they don't care. They don't give a crap about the retail investor as much, I guess. But Robinhood does. So I'm all about Hoy. I have 25,000 shares of Misty. Damn, Brandon. Wow. Are you retired? I hope so. You can enjoy that. Yeah, Michael, I wish. It's just a lot. Brandon, you on a yacht? Yeah, you should be, right? And then taking us with him. Most consistent. Yeah, a lot of people love Ulti now. Have you gone over Misty year to date over under payments? Not sure what you mean, but they for the fiscal year, obviously, you know, we're tracking what they paid each and every payment. You know, starting with 442, it was as high as 442, then 308, 227, 202, 137, 133, 237, and then $1.47. Why something's wrong? Some of these formulas are broke. Yeah, it looks like the holdings. Yeah, whatever. Let me fix the zoom. But yeah, I'm tracking how much they paid out in total distributions versus how much they made, and then the carry forward, right? So right now, you know, there's an overall debit carry forward, which means they've lost more than what, you know, they've made, based, you know, taking the payments into consideration too. So, you know, the first month, great, we had a $60 million carry forward, but the next month they paid more than what they made. They paid more than what they made, more than what, you know, and then so on and so forth. And then this one payment cycle 7, they had a credit of 210 mil. But again, you know, the next cycle, they paid more than what they made. So I don't show any credit. There's no credit being held back in this fiscal year. Not sure if that's what you're asking, Steele, but there's nothing to really talk about there. You know, it's just a lot of it's probably going to be return of capital this year, which people like. You know, people want that. All right. Let me keep going, getting through the comments. Norman says, need that MSTY IV wave. Yeah, man. How do we do it? What do we do, man? Polish pimp in the house. Robinhood is good as a starter. Yes, 100% agree. You know, they just someone trying to learn. It's great. Where the hell am I in the comments? There you go. All right. Swap Misty for Ulti. Wow. Yeah, I'm not doing that, but I'd rather own both. Yeah, okay. So good. All right, yeah. So I mean, again, there's nothing there. I'm expecting, you know, the majority so far for the year. Again, you have to think of like, what was the price of, you know, what was the price of Misty the beginning of the fiscal year? That's also a way to look at it, right? Fiscal year being 11/1. The answer is I don't know. I didn't check, but you know, that's one way to look at it too. Huge Robinhood event in Europe tomorrow. All right, that's cool. Well, I guess he's going to make more bank. BTC needs to hit over 110K from it. Yeah, probably, because that's like every time it hits 110, it comes back down. Robinhood has paid me tens of thousands for transfers. Oh, you mean like the reward thing? Yeah. Give me a second. There you go. All right, so do you own TSYY, Rod? I know it's not a YieldMax fund at its current price. TSYY pays the highest, 120%. Really? $120%, huh? All right. Let's see. They show. Wow, distribution yield 152%. Look at you. Look at you go. Yeah, I'm probably gonna interview Granite Shares soon. They've reached out, and again, like I said, they're good peeps. So we'll have them on at some point. Let's check out their payments. Share 29 cents, 29 cents, 30 cents. Okay. What's the price? What's the NAV? Where the hell's it at? Down here? 10.54. What'd they launch at? 20? Yeah, man, they put crazy there, but yeah, it's a different fund to cover. I just, again, there's only so much one person can cover. I'm sure there's other YouTubers that cover granite shares, but like I said, if I'm ever retired one day, yes, I will cover every damn fund that I can. So you have to watch my channel a lot more if you want me to retire early. I like Robinhood, but support isn't great. I can get human. Yeah, that's what I hear. I haven't really used their support, but I did like actually communicate through the text message, and I have to say it was pretty easy. So that support I did like. Silverliner says his Coney is completely paid for. That's awesome. Could all the new covered call ETFs be having effect on the IV in the market? I mean, that's a good question. That's what everyone seems to think. So, but that's a question for Jay or Will Rind at Granite Shares. That I cannot answer that question. XBT. I don't even know what the hell XBTY. Am I supposed to know what that is? There's way too many funds out there. Is that a crypto Bitcoin one? Lots of late come. Yeah, almost at 300. I know. Show's almost over. Please give us a week's notice so we can watch your. Yeah. No, yeah, I definitely will know at least a week in advance. All right, what do we got? Yield boost went weekly. Oh, I didn't even realize they went freaking weekly. Oh, wow. See, it's crazy. Yeah, these people, everyone's fighting for your money. It's good. Competition is good. Jay said, Misty assets under management, 10% of the MSTR market cap. That's crazy. Hey, it's 420 somewhere. Yes, it is. Vanzilla. West Coast, it's 420. There you go. All right. So what else? Is there anything else that we did not cover that we need to? I think we know, we talked about the filings. The more recent filings are down here, right? Affirm, ARM, Appley, Broadcom, CrowdStrike, GameStop. As far as IV, though, Hims and Hers sticks out. IONQ sticks out. I wrote in Circle. I did not, again, these are the ones we wrote down. Actually, wasn't I supposed to send this to YieldMax? This is, I think, what we wrote down as of last week when you guys were giving me tickers of would be nice to have, the nice to haves, right? And I couldn't believe this one, INMB. Like, oh my God. Like, that is insane. But anyway. All right, let me check some comments. We can call it a day soon. No need to drag this out unless you guys want me to do something here. Do you know where your mind is? Nope. I have Robinhood with 500 and Misty. Going to let it sit for a year and see what happens. LA's leaving us. Oh yeah, LA has a premiere at 7:30. So go check his premiere out. All right. He's going to fix something, right? And not like us over here. We don't really fix anything. We're just breaking stuff. So go check out his channel. Are you going to discuss your options giving? Yes. I did that yesterday. Covered my options trades. It's a short week. Right now for TSLL, if you guys can see my screen, I only have puts on them. I have a 10, 11, a 12. I got 700 shares, and there's no covered calls attached to them. I'm really hoping for a nice jump on the Monday morning for TSLL. So do you guys think that's going to happen with that autonomous delivery? I mean, I'm hoping so. And then obviously I'm going to go cover call crazy on TSLL next week, if that's the case, because it's a short week, but I still have the goal, same income goal that I want to make each and every week. So, you know, we'll see. And then TNA, I got assigned on 300 shares. They got called away, which was fine. I have 300 left and 100 has a covered call on it, and that's it. So if I scroll up, you'll see that up here, I've covered call and a put. So not much going on, pending really, but I'm ready to go crazy next week in options trades. I'm ready to have some fun. Please sing. Yeah. What do I sing though? Right. I think the baby's still sleeping though. Once I get back in the garage, I'll start singing again. Austin, you're gonna have to watch it again, man. Right? No, I don't know. What I think I said $1 something. $1. Let's scroll up. Yeah, $1, 61% yield. I couldn't give it under $1. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Haven't seen Doc lately. He's in and out, just like TC. All right. I think we're done. You guys think we're done? All right. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and this video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, come back when? Tomorrow. Tomorrow's a Monday recap, and we'll get ready for this short holiday week. But we'll still make money. We'll make money the same exact way. If you have any questions or concerns, leave them in the comments below. If you have a video question, type video question, and then we'll go from there. If you enjoy this content, obviously, please hit the like button, and let's hit 1,000 likes. It's Group D. All right, this is the biggest video of the month typically, so let's get 1,000 likes on this Group D freaking video. All right. Outside of that, I don't really have anything, but I'm gonna go with keyword time. So if you guys that are in the live stream, you got to give me the keyword. So the keyword, number one, if you made it this far in the video and you would like to prove it to myself and others, you have to type in the comments the keyword. So the keyword will have to be given by someone. Brother says low IV. Skittle says go away IV. I mean, that's a good one too. Low IV. We could do a combination of both. Low poison ivy, right? Fun and entertainment. Yep. Poison ivy. Yep. How about low IV? All right. The keyword today is low IV. All right. Low IV. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to type in the keyword low IV. Type in the comments below, low IV. And then say hello to my little friend. And that's it. So I don't know. That's all I got for today. All right, let me end it there before I keep yip yapping. But anyone who joined the live, I appreciate it. Thank you for hanging around this long. Anyone who watched after, thank you as well. But I'll talk to you all tomorrow at the Monday recap. I hope to see you all there. Will we be live? I'm not sure, actually. Probably not. But I'll talk to you guys later.